Sports app.
Kings fans once again upset about the officiating last night, of course. The last 2-minute report came out. Kings fans are, if anything, even more frustrated. The NBA, and we'll get to it at some point here coming up, the NBA is having a terrible streak of last 2-minute reports. Like the last 3 days have been probably the worst. And like I say, we will get to that. It's incredible. If the last 2-minute report doesn't go away now, it never will. Because it's been
I'm with you.
Awful.
It has been. There's no purpose, Whitey.
Yeah.
What's the point? Nobody's happy with it.
Every day for the last 3 days, there's a game winner that the league has to come out and say, oh, yeah, we missed that.
We missed that.
3 days in a row.
Yes.
And that's aside from the De'Aaron Fox. I'm not even talking about that one.
And I don't know if you guys saw what De'Aaron's wife, Rasay, reposted last night. You saw the NBA, the screenshot, and, Dyson Daniels' hand is like, not even on Fox's. It looked like it's on his wrist almost.
Standing right there watching.
Exactly. The official is, I think that's Aaron Thomas. He's right there looking right at it. And she got the caption, LOL.
Yeah.
It's like, come on now. And what is incidental contact when you're swiping down at the ball?
Whatever you want it to
right?
be.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Drapes takes are coming up first. Ward wants to talk to you. Is that all right, Drapes?
Yeah, let's see. Let make sure Ward's coming correct.
What's up, Ward?
That's my guy. What's up, baby?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. I appreciate the time. Want to get something off my chest, and then I will bounce here. But Sacramento, we should be ashamed by the way we are treating our guy, Keegan Murray. We're talking like he's on the floor doing absolutely nothing, like he's not trying, like he's not giving it all. I'm tired of us always having the mentality of you die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. What have we been hearing? We ask Keegan to do so much. Now, on top of asking him to do so much, we need you to do a little bit of what Domas does. We need you to do a little bit of what DeMar does, while also playing the most minutes in the entire NBA.
Ooh.
This dude's dad has to speak up and defend his son. What are we doing? Sacramento, where do we expect this negative energy to take us? We keep going in the same circle that we always do with this negativity. Let's choose to be positive. So much that I bet soon we'll be chanting his name so many times during the game, we won't have a voice for the next game. So Sacramento, let's do better. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for the time.
Word. Oh, Jay, he was cooking out there. He was making bacon, eggs, some chicken on the grill. Like, this dude was cooking out there.
Jay, I don't know about you. I'm generally not a huge fan of callers who write something down and read it.
Ward wouldn't do such a thing. That was all off the top of the dome.
He was spitting.
He was spitting.
Freestyling. He was in the booth.
He was the preacher on the pulpit.
It was good. It was good. Just in general. Don't do that to my guy, Ward.
You thought he had you didn't think he was Lil Wayne? You didn't think he came off
That
the
wasn't
top?
no freestyle.
He wasn't freestyling?
It was good.
That means he's prepared.
See, Whitey, it's not about the delivery. It's about the message.
Sure.
The question is, do we agree with the message?
Yes, we do.
Exactly.
Yes, we
Leave
do.
Keegan alone.
And Ward, that's a tough act for you to follow here.
Dude, that was part of Drape Steaks. I sent that to him.
Yes, it's time for Let's
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
You know what, Whitey? I was going to start a different way. I was going to go in a different direction. But I got to start off with my guy, Ward. That's clearly the call of the day. I dare anybody to top with Ward that smoke, that heat he was bringing. Shout out to him. You know what? We should have a segment called Ward's Take of the Day. That was so fire right there. I thought he was on point.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We do need to leave Keegan Murray alone. I'm going to piggyback on his. Is he putting up the numbers that we want? No. But here's the thing, Sacramento. When one of our guys is struggling, when one of our guys is trying to find his way, we don't kick a man while he's down. We don't abandon him. We look to lift him up. We give Keegan Murray encouragement. We give Trey Lyles last week encouragement. We don't kick these guys down. You don't think Keegan went home last night upset that he didn't play better, upset that he fouled out, and now you got these trolls on social media trying to kick him down? That's not what we do, Sacramento. We lift our guys up. We don't kick them when they're down. So Keegan Murray, trust me, there will come a game or games where Keegan leads the team in scoring 25-plus points, hits 6 threes, It's cyclical, people. It happens in the NBA. You have some off nights, you have some on nights. No need to kick one of our own down. We not Draymond Green. We leave that for Warriors fans and stuff like that. We don't need to kick our own guys down. So I'm with Ward 100%, Whitey. That's a bonus Drapes take. I wasn't even going to include that, but we got to lay off our guy, Keegan Murray.
Yeah. How bad? I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you don't either. How bad has it gotten on social media? I know Keegan's dad is weighing in here, but I looked it up and I didn't see anything that over the line.
Nah, yeah, I saw a few things as well, and for the most part, though, his dad, and I'm looking at the post right now.
His dad is your friend and he's been on our show.
Yeah, that's a friend of show. That's my guy. And for the most part, people are saying, love having your son in Sac, maybe run the offense through Keegan. That's what we do, Sacramento. We look for solutions. We don't double down on blaming people. And so it's been out there a little bit. Think about it. We talked about it on the show yesterday with G-Man and High Flyer. Everybody's pointing the finger at Keegan. I don't want to say point the finger. I want to say we want, like you said with Trey Lyles, we want this guy to get going. That's what we need to do with Keegan Murray. Lift him up instead of kicking a man while he's down.
Yeah, it was just frustrating to see him struggle so much when they needed so much more out of him.
Yes, exactly. All right, let me move on with Drake's takes. And I said it the last segment or the first segment. I'm not going to overreact, Kings fans, to what we saw last night. Was it a tough loss? Yes. Did the officiating, was that questionable? Yes. Should we have beaten the Atlanta Hawks? Yes. But I'm going to chalk up what we saw last night, not to an issue with the Kings. This isn't an indictment on the season or anything like that. Give Atlanta credit. They were just better last night. They made one more shot. They hit one more point, and they were finally whole. DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench, 24 points, knocking down how many threes? 4 threes that he had. Bogdan, our boy Bogey, got a nice hand back in town. The issue that we had yesterday is that, A, the fourth quarter, the offense disappeared, and B, the Atlanta Hawks were prepared for what we were doing, meaning Trae Young was not going to force it. He was not going to single-handedly try to beat us. He welcomed the double team. He welcomed the opportunity to get the ball out of his hands. And more times than not, I thought he made the right play. Chalk it up last night to the Atlanta Hawks just being better, just by a smidge on this one night. Mind you, we didn't have 3 of our top guns.
And they're not known as a great defensive team, as you said.
Right.
But maybe we'll break it down a little later. But that last play where De'Aaron tried to get off the game winner, where it did look like he was fouled, they defended that very well. Other than the foul, which is significant, but they defended that play very well.
Right, exactly. And I'll raise another point here as I continue Drape's takes. What we were concerned about came true. And I'm not talking about Trae Young. Big boy Clint Capella. We had no answer for them on the inside. 14 points, Whitey, 14 rebounds for Clint Capella. And a lot of his stuff was from the passing of Trae Young, But when you don't have Domas out there, and even our guy Alex Len only played 17 minutes, we went small ball a lot yesterday. And that played into the Hawks' hands. They took advantage of him. And so we desperately need Domantas Sabonis back. We need DeMar DeRozan back. We have those 2 guys. We don't lose that game last night. We have DeMar DeRozan in the fourth quarter. We don't lose that game last night. And so we saw how this team looks without Domas, and they fought hard. They played, at times well. But we needed our big fella last night in the worst way.
Just needed a few more points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Right.
And they still, and you're right, everything you said is true. They still out-rebounded Atlanta by a pretty decent margin.
Exactly. But look at the points in the paint. Yeah. Atlanta dominated us in the points in the paint. The 3 ball is what kept us in it. I'm looking at the box score because occasionally I do that as an ode to my co-host right there.
I saw you do it at the post game last night.
No, I do it as a reference point. Not wake up the next day and say, oh, this is what went wrong. I'm looking at the fourth quarter, Whitey. And I wonder if De'Aaron Fox might have been a little fatigued, and here's why. The dude's been Superman for the last 4 or 5 days for the Sacramento Kings. He's gone to the well. and came up with a pail full of water so many times. Yesterday, though, 3 of 10 in the fourth quarter. I wish we could have had another helping body to take all the pressure off. And I know Keegan had 6 points in the quarter, but we only made 4 field goals, and 3 of them were by De'Aaron Fox. We needed somebody else, sort of like the Minnesota game, that could help us out and take us over the hump. And that's another reason why I'm not too upset about last night. We're playing severely shorthanded. De'Aaron Fox has been balling out of his mind. It's no wonder that you have a game like this. De'Aaron Fox has been hitting everything. He couldn't continue that. I understand that. And give the Atlanta Hawks credit. They made life difficult for him in that fourth quarter. And so did the officials, I might add. You know, here's the thing too, Whitey. Last thing on the officials. Last thing with Drape's takes here. The officials have the ability to control the game. If you want to let it be physical, which we saw last night, that frustrates players. And I thought De'Aaron Fox got frustrated at the lack of whistles, the lack of calls. So the officials, in my opinion, did have an impact on the game, more so than just the missed calls. The whole mindset, the way the game was played was different late in that game in the fourth quarter.
They almost seemed, the officials, a little vindictive in a way that you would see, you know, in the 60s and 70s. The officials are supposed to be better than that.
Joey Crawford and those guys back
exactly.
going back then? Yeah. It's
you want to complain?
I'll show you. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm a little frustrated about that. But you know what? 8 and 7, when Malik's missed, 5 games? DeMar's missed 3 now. Domas has missed 2 now. Like, it'll be okay, Kings fans. Don't get too upset. And finally, leave my guy Keegan Murray alone. Keegan will be fine. Jay, that's Drape's Takes. It's brought to you by
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Last night, after the game, Mike Brown said something. He said, I'll probably get crushed for saying that.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what that was when we come right back. See what you think of it. Next on Sactown Sports.
Everywhere you look,